Good morning, Ludivine.
Good morning, Jean-David.
16th of October, just 1 month after harvest, 1 month before the auction.
Already, oh my God.
We're ready.
We're ready.
Just wanted to sum up very quickly this challenging year, bringing low yields, some climatic adversity.
Yeah, 2024 is rather difficult to summarize because we want to give the information that we have very low quantities because of a lot of adversities in terms of climate, in terms of pressure, the disease pressure as well. So we lost quite a lot of our crop all the year long, day after day and weeks after weeks. So by the end, we finally have a very small quantity in our cellars, but it's not the reason why we can already be worried about the quality, because the quality is au rendezvous. And we're very happy with the wine that we produce, but it was a long process to go to that point.
In this long process, one of the achievements you have, and you can be proud of with the team, is to confirm the organic certification,
yes,
which we already witnessed in also the quality of the grapes.
Yes, the matter of 2024 was really to be focused on the certification, the organic certification. And it is also thanks to all my team, because without them, without their very strong and hard work, we couldn't get to the point. We also hesitated to stop or to know how to arrange it, because it was, we saw that we were losing a lot of grapes. But the reason why we are successful now is really thanks to all of them.
Knowing you now for quite a long time, it's your 10th harvest at the Hospices Auction, as you joined in 2015. You've got some experience about the terroirs, about the Domaine, the way it works, and one of the things we witness at Albert Bichot year after year is how demanding you are, how precise, the care you put in all the decisions you have, combined with some sensibility, some very human approach, careful approach.
I think it's a sort of a global knowledge now that I have. You mentioned also the fact that I run through all the vineyards. So I know quite well now every single plot. I am able now to try to anticipate a little bit more than what I used to, how the plot can be impacted by any weather condition or a crop or whatever else. And strong with all this knowledge, and being very precise and also dedicated to every single point that could make the difference. Because I used to explain to my team that it's rather easy to make good wines, because we got nice tools, we have all the enologic aspect of it, we know how to make wine. But the difference is to make excellent wines. And this is thanks to all these additional points that we can go up to the point to make excellent wines, not only good wines.
Okay.
And this millimeters, day after day, this
sense of detail. Yeah,
details, and also approach, and also sometimes intuitions. All are based on my experience, my own experience, and I'm stronger now with this. I'm not as strong as I would like, and we are never strong enough to fight sometimes any vintage like 2024. But at least we were all together to think about.
Into the details, this combination of knowledge and small intuitions, I would say, in the choice of harvest dates, in the vinification approach.
Yes, it's also the addition of all these points. It seems like every year I am telling you that it's so difficult to decide when to harvest, and I'm going to tell you that again. But this year, what was very particular was to take in consideration 3 very important parameters. Of course, the maturity, talking about the tannins, the aromas, and the sugars. But it was also the sanitary state of the crop, because we knew that it could be possible to be very fragile, and also the weather conditions. Fortunately, we harvested under sunshining conditions, and nowadays I'm really happy and proud of the decision that we've taken about this harvest period of 12 days.
Okay.
And it was the good one. I think we couldn't have done otherwise.
Great.
So it was the good one. And then when we received the grapes at the winery, they were beautiful. They were already very nice, but there were a few. So the temptation could have been to
use them all.
To use them all. But here we were strong and we were very convinced that we absolutely needed to keep only the best of them. So we sorted out not that much, between 3 to 5%, but still it's still 5% less. Of course, when you don't have a lot already, it's always difficult. It's like human to try to keep as much as possible.
So you kept the very best, and then for the vinifications, in your technical approach, that's also something I wanted to focus on.
Well, the vinifications were not that special.
Okay.
They were rather traditional. Straight away, we had very intensive aromas, intensive flavors all around the winery, both whites and reds. And we pressed a whole bunch for the whites. What we've done this year is we selected a little bit more strongly the lees because they were not that beautiful, they were not that good. But on the other round, for the reds, we kept almost
more lees.
Yeah, because they are very flavory and very nice. We vinified the reds for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And the key of the process to me this year was the control of the temperature. And as we had a lot of aromas, a lot of color coming out in the very first days, we decided to make quite long cold maceration.
Before the fermentation to happen?
Yes, it's just before the ferments. And it was during between 7 to 9 days.
Okay.
So this is rather long. Yeah, for Pinot Noir, on average, this is rather long. And then the ferment went very fast, so it wasn't a problem. But the temperature was not going that high this year, so we had to push a little bit up to warm it up for the tannins to be more extracting and also the color to be more stabilized.
Okay.
So that was probably thanks to the temperature that now we are offering them some great wines.
Just a few keywords and the consequence. You mentioned this aromatic, ambiance and mood, and it smells so good in the winery now in the cellars. Yeah. It was already the case, of course, before. But now, in terms of a few words about each key zone, like the Côte de Nuit, etc., for both whites and reds.
For the whites, the very common line is the purity of the aromatic. We have pear, we have yellow apple, we have apricot, very strong aromas on these three flavors, and with a very interesting acidity. Okay. So acidity seems to become a bad word, but we are in Burgundy, we're talking about Chardonnay, so let's talk about acidity. And they have a nice level of acidity with a...
Which is also a support for longer-term aging and longer-term bottle potential.
Of course, this is what Burgundy is used to with the Chardonnay, not only, but at least with the Chardonnay. So I'm really enthusiastic regarding to the energy the whites will have. And regarding to the reds, I would separate Volnay and Beaune,
okay.
Where you will have very concentrated and deep tannins, a little bit more tannic and bodied build for Pommard. And then if we talk about Pommard and Savigny as well. And then if you go a little bit northern, like Corton and Côte de Nuit, that I would put all together, you're more on slight tannins, delicatesse and fineness. Of course, it smells very good, like raspberry, red currant, and blackcurrant as well. But the tannins have a different texture there. So it was a little bit more, but it was a little bit more difficult to play on the extraction of the tannins on these two parts, Corton and Côte de Nuit. We finally get to the point, but it was a little bit more technical.
We don't know the exact number of barrels at this stage, but what I wanted to have a few words with you about is this being so demanding, and these yields is to compare not with a big average of whatever number, but with the average of what you look for in each year.
Let's start from the beginning, because at the Domaine of the Hospices de Beaune, what we usually do, without knowing any forecasted weather for the months that will come, we already work with lower yield than what we are allowed.
Compared to the authorizations.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the others are doing bad, but for instance, when the authorized or legal yield could be like 48, hectoliters per hectare, sorry. We want to go around 38 already. So considering that we have half yield, we have half yield regarding to 38 and not to 40.
Not 40.
So, of course, we produce less, but it is really assumed, this is really what we are proud of, because we definitely want to make excellent wines, and we already believe that the concentration and the very ripe fruits are a part of the key to make excellent wines. It's not the only one. Some people are doing very well with higher yields, but here
But that's your approach.
This is our approach, and this is what we really believe in.
Talking about believing, you also believe in humanity, human words, and this sense of community. And in that context, of course, the special barrel called the presidential barrel, the charity barrel is also sometimes known. What is it this year?
This year, this barrel, this very specific barrel, will be a barrel of Beaune Premier Cru Les Bressans. As you know, we vinified separately all our climat, all our plots. And straight from the beginning, the tank, the vat where the Beaune Premier Cru Bressans was just like exhausting and really gorgeous, I would say.
Okay.
And it was smelling good. It was really intense. The tannins were very nice. It's a kind also of my good girl, to be honest. Yeah, I'm crushed with the Bressan. So it was rather easy to decide this year.
So Beaune Premier Cru Bressan dedicated for the One Health cause.
One Health, yeah, which is it sounds like a large cause, but by the end it really matches with what we have been also believing in our organic conversion, taking care about human, about environment, about the product that we make, and to all combine all together to take care about human being in the planet approach.
Okay.
That could be sort of that makes sense anyway.
I understand. These words make me think about the illustration used this year. I just wanted to have which is kind of, to me, a little bit of a summary. I don't know what you think about it, but this kind of respect for nature, sensibility, craftsmanship as well.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also could be compared to 2024. 2024 is modern. Because it's a sort of experimental vintage. We've never known about 2024 before. So now we are not going to be able to say, again, we don't know, because we know it's possible. And by this illustration made by Christophe Merlin, I think it's really nice because it's precise, it's elegant.
Yes.
It deals with the grapes, so I'm happy with that.
And focus on the product.
And focus on the product, focus on, as well on the modernity. Sotheby's was really good in the approach to illustrate this vintage. We've been talking about the vintage since a long time with them, and sharing this up to the end, up to this wonderful illustration, is something we can be proud of. Yeah.
Excellent. So a good illustration.
Yeah.
I think a good forecast for the auction.
Cross finger.
Will be here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ludivine.
Bye bye.